I'm McKenna, I'm the Summer Reading Club Coordinator, and today we have another check-in for our caterpillars. And today will be a little bit of a longer one because I have a few more storybooks I want to read. But I just want to begin by reminding everybody that I do raise monarch butterflies under an Ontario-issued breeding permit and have been doing so for the last 4 years. So today I actually have a fun t-shirt on. It's a little monarch butterfly t-shirt, and it has monarch butterfly wings on it. I'm not sure if you can see it very well, but it has the pattern of a monarch butterfly wing, and it has the location in Mexico where a lot of monarch butterflies fly to from Ontario and from other northern states in the United States. So today I have our 2 caterpillars, and as I said, we're going to just do a quick little update on them. And as you'll see in the video I'm about to show you, they have grown a lot, and they actually just went through what is called a molt. They went through it last night, so that's what when they shed their skin, and then they enter the next instar. So now they're in their 3rd instar, so they have 2 more to go. And I would say that with the humid weather we've been having, they probably only have another 5 or 6 days maybe until they'll be in their chrysalis. It might be a little more like 7 or 8. It all depends on the specific generation that they are, and as well, like I said, the weather. So I'll let you see that video. Here are our 2 caterpillars. They are now in their 3rd instar, and you can begin to see their stripes way more clearly than you could beforehand, as well as their 4 antennae. They each have 2 in the front, 2 in the back. You can also see just how much they're starting to eat now too. This entire milkweed leaf is half gone. And they're on 2 separate leaves now because they can go through almost an entire leaf by themselves in one day. As you saw, our monarch butterfly pals are growing really quickly. Our caterpillar pals, I should say. They're not quite butterflies yet. But I wanted to read a really cool storybook, and it's a flip book where you can flip up the tabs to see coloring. And it's called The Butterfly Garden by Laura Weston. And it has been published by Bug Picture Press, which I think is pretty suiting for this book. So this book is all about a monarch butterfly garden. So we will see the whole monarch butterfly process in this book. So the butterfly garden. An egg, which is, oh man, now we have to find the egg. A feast. So I would say there's our feast. There's our caterpillar friend. There's the eggs. Quite a bit of eggs on that one leaf. There's a beautiful monarch. I'm sure she just laid those eggs. Oh, and there's another feast. And you can see all the little caterpillars crawling throughout the plant. A change, a stretch. So here's our change up here into a chrysalis, which we're very close to seeing. A chrysalis, there's another change, and a stretch, stretching out their wings after they come out of the chrysalis. And I just want to point this out. So this caterpillar is doing something called a J. So this is what a monarch caterpillar will go into. It's, like I said, called a J, right before they form their chrysalis. And I'll talk about the difference between forming a chrysalis and forming a cocoon, like I've mentioned a few times before. But this is a really good way of telling that your monarch caterpillar, or that a monarch caterpillar is about to go into its chrysalis, because it'll hang in that J for about, I would say, 2 or 3 hours. And hopefully I can maybe catch it on video. It's pretty hard to catch because it happens quickly, and it can happen any time of the day. It can happen at night, in the morning, in the afternoon, and it's quick. They'll hang in their J for a few hours, but once they decide that they're ready to go into the chrysalis, it'll happen in a matter of minutes. So it's called a J because, as you can tell, it takes a J shape. More like a U shape, but when the caterpillar is doing it naturally, it kind of follows a perfect J shape. And then it'll start to curl up as it forms its chrysalis. A taste. Look at that monarch butterfly getting some nectar. A flight. Look at its beautiful wings. There's another one. Beautiful wings. And another one. A journey. They're all flying around. Oh, this one's a big one. Oh my gosh, look at all of them. Asleep. Look at, they're all sleeping. A meeting. Oh, this one's big. Oh, look at the two of them saying hello. An egg. There's more eggs. A feast. It's kind of like our caterpillars right now. They're having a feast. A change again with the chrysalis. A flight. There's another one taking flight. And it says on the back, follow the monarch butterfly's dramatic life cycle in this beautiful lift the flap book and marvel at one of the wonders of the natural world. So this is a book you can take out at the library yourself in the coming weeks. So I wanted to share some fun facts with you today because I haven't done that in the last few videos. So one of the best monarch imposters is called the queen butterfly, and a lot of people refer to it as the queen monarch butterfly. The monarch butterfly doesn't actually have a queen species itself, but the queen butterfly species looks very similar to the monarch butterfly. And we do have them here in Ontario. They're not very common to see anywhere really, and they purposely copy the way that the monarch butterfly looks in order for its own survival and to be able to thrive. So the caterpillar of the queen butterfly looks very similar to a monarch butterfly caterpillar, except its black and white stripes are in a different order and its yellow coloring is nowhere near as prominent as the monarch. As well, it has 6 antennae throughout instead of only having 4. So the monarch butterfly has 2 at the front, 2 in the back when it's a caterpillar, and the queen has 6. So 2 in the front, 2 in the middle, 2 in the back, and they usually have a red tip on the end of the antennae too. And that's usually a pretty clear giveaway that you have found a queen instead of a monarch. Although at first glance, they can look very similar. Then, when they're actually in the butterfly stage, it's even harder to tell the difference. So for a monarch, there's black veining all throughout the wings, as you can see on this book. See, there's black veining all throughout the wings. But on the queen, the black veining is only on that top wing that you see. It's not on both wings, on the top and the bottom. As well, the white speckling on the queen carries throughout the wing more so than the monarch. And the monarch already has a lot of white speckling, so you can imagine that the queen has quite a lot as well. And I will insert a picture here so that you can see the difference between the two. So now that we've learned about our monarch butterfly imposter, one of the many imposters, there's quite a few in the butterfly world actually that like to pretend that they're the monarch butterfly for protection, which is pretty common. It's pretty common to do that. We're going to read our second storybook, which is not related to being an imposter, but it's related to change. And it is called The End is Just the Beginning, a book of endless possibilities by Mike Bender, illustrated by Diana Mayo, and published by Crown Books for Young Readers. The end is just the beginning. The end. That's right, you read it correctly. You've reached the end and the beginning. Here's our little caterpillar. But wait, how can a book possibly start at the end? That's ridiculous. Well, prepare to have your mind blown because the end isn't really the end. It's just the beginning of something else. Do you spot our little caterpillar friend? Here he is right on the windowsill. Like this beautiful sunset, sure seems like the end of the day, right? No, not so fast. You see, when the sun goes down, it's actually just the beginning of night. There's the caterpillar again. When all the snow melts at the end of the winter, that just means it's the beginning of spring. There's a chrysalis. If you try to go to the ends of the earth, you'll actually just keep going back to the beginning because the earth is at one big circle. If you blast off in a rocket ship, you'll reach the end of the sky, otherwise known as the beginning of outer space. When you count, the end of one number is just the beginning of the next number, and so on and so on and so on, all the way to infinity, which, by the way, never ends. Even a sign that literally says dead end isn't an end at all. It's only just the beginning of whatever lies beyond it. So, when you really think about it, the end is entirely endless. The end of a disagreement with someone is just the beginning of making up. The end of a mistake is just the beginning of learning something new. Look at that beautiful butterfly they made. The end of being sick is just the beginning of feeling better. The end of dinner is just the beginning of dessert. And if you're really well behaved, the end of dessert might just be the beginning of more dessert. So tonight, when you turn off the lights and go to bed, don't think of it as the end of anything. Just think of it as the beginning of a new tomorrow full of possibilities. Do you spot our chrysalis friend in the tree up here? The beginning of discovering the next book. Or in our case, the beginning of a whole new life cycle. And there's the beautiful butterfly. And I don't know if you noticed on the front, but there was a caterpillar, a chrysalis, and a bunch of butterflies. So I just wanted to thank you all for joining me once again to check in on our two little caterpillar pals. And I would say we're only a few days away from them going into a chrysalis, which is super exciting. And I'm very excited to see them as beautiful butterflies, especially to see what gender they both come out as butterflies. You can't tell the gender of the caterpillar, but you can try to gender the chrysalis. It's a little tricky. I've never been able to do it successfully because you need a really good microscope to be able to do it. But once we have the butterflies, that will be super interesting to see what gender they each are. And otherwise, we will do another check-in in a few days. We only have 2 instars left, and then they go into their chrysalis. So hopefully we will be able to catch them because they are growing fast. So I can't wait for you all to join me again in a few days. And until then, stay well. Bye.